Alright, here's an update video on the truck. I got the truck inside, or the 6.0 inside, and I got the floor cut out of the 77, and it's going down right now. But I just got to get everything placed in right now. And I'm going to kind of show you where I've got everything cut and what further needs to be done at this point. And I'll tell you how I got to this point as well. So let's start at the front of the truck, or let's start with the floor. I'll kind of make this a floor video. This will be part one of the floor video. Okay, how about that? So when I cut the cab, I'll just show you where I cut it. And then I'll show you on my 7.3 what it looks like without being cut up. So here's where the heater box would go. And you can see how nicely it's gonna fit. I mean, look at that. And I'm talking about this gap right here. Plus the cab's gotta go over this way a little bit for my clutch alignment. So that'll fit literally probably pretty dang good. And then for firewall weld, you can't really tell because of behind me, but this is the firewall, the stock 77 firewall, so it comes out to here, so it'll weld onto here perfectly. I can get a nice butt weld on there. Go up and around. I left 2 inches there, or I don't know how much I left there. I just eyeballed it. Not the final weld, but I got that all cut out, and I don't know why we're focusing on something else. There we go. And then you can see where I cut the firewall here. See where I got that cut, and I'll show you real good under here how I got it cut, and I'll tell you my idea. Okay, this is where I have it cut. You can kind of see there. Let me see if you can see what I can see. But all right, right there, I can see. You can see that lip. There's a lip and then a little piece of sheet metal. You want to cut on the other side of this lip. So cut on, obviously this side, so you have most of the lip. You can see right there how this lip right here. Oh, hold on. This lip right here and this sheet metal, you want to cut on the thin sheet metal side, so you have this lip you can weld to. And then you can see how I have it cut. All the way down, it's the same way. I'll even go to this side real quick. It's not staying focused for some reason. And then you can see over here where I got it. Let me get down here, get it focused. I cut it really tight on this side so you can barely see it, but just kind of get it looking similar to this. You can see where I farmed it up right here and got a really bad cut in on it, but that's no problem, we'll get it cleaned up. But you can see, do that the length of the truck. And then you can see I kept this whole piece here to hold my pedals and whatnot. And you can see how I have it cut here. I'll give you a right on picture. That's where I got it cut. Going up. And then right here going into there, and that's how I have it cut inside there. Oh, bad. I'll go inside the cab and show you. And then I'll talk about bracing too here in a second. Here's how it looks on the inside. And I'm gonna trim this flatter too, so don't worry about this big bulge in this bracketry right here. Let me try and get all these wires out of the way. Okay, here we go. There's a good picture. All right, you can see how I have it cut up there. How I have it cut in here where my clutch pedals get a bolt up, which is this bolt, and then the outer bolt right there. You can see how it's gonna line up, and you can see how the firewall right there, the edge of the 2 inches of that firewall right here, are just gonna come down and meet up with that firewall right there. So that'll be perfect. And I'm just gonna have to weld a little piece out here, you know, because this will sit up inside the dash. And then as for in here, you can see how that looks. And then you want to leave this piece here for structure. You'll see where the ending for this bracket is for all your pedals. And then you're going to want to leave this bracket here because it's supporting it down here. You'll see it. See how it kind of goes down and supports that? If you want to keep that, I'm going to keep it. But do whatever you want. And then I have it cut all the way down there. Like so. And I think I'm close to the final cut on the firewall. I think I'm done cutting up the firewall, but I'm not done cutting up or trimming, I should say, the floors down here, I don't think. and then as well in the back, which you'll see in the back what my problem is, but I'm gonna just work from the front and go back. So I started there. There's kind of what I got going on with the floor, and then it's gonna come down. So let's move on to cab bracing. I got the cab brace with, there's a 3 pieces of angle holding up the main 3. So here, here, and then back here. Those are all getting supported, and then I just have little pieces of rod welded in on these corners, and then 2 pieces welded in or bolted in, and then we got a piece welded in here, welded up front, and then a piece welded right here. So we're all good on bracing, or at least nothing's moved yet. I've checked my measurements, so we're good there. As long as no measurements moved, then I did it right. And then I started a rough cut on the floor, but as you can see, right here are the mounting bolts for the cab. As you can see, I'm pretty far up, so I think I'm gonna either cut it all down the center like that and move it forward, or just cut little squares out like right here, cut it out and move it forward, and then brace it myself. But I don't know what I'm gonna do yet, but it still needs to, I think, go back a little bit, so that should be fine. I need to check where my shifter is gonna be, and then just make sure everything's level when I go to set it down. And that's really all there kind of is to it. I got room for my seats back here. I still got 3 inches back here for my seat, so that's okay. I got room for the front seat, hopefully all my leg room and stuff is really good, which I pray that it's good. I don't know how I'm gonna check it, but I'm gonna have to check it first. Measurements, but yeah, you can see kind of where I got it cut, and it's just really rough at the moment. And you can see I got my dash in, like I said, and just kind of basic things. Watch where your steering is gonna be. See my steering column, or my steering rod shaft, and then it's got to come into contact, or it's got the male end for it's right here where my finger is. So that's all got to line up, and look how good it's already kind of trying to line up, which we're talking where my thumb is and where my pinky is. So right there to right there, and that looks, eyeballing it like this, it looks pretty good, but we'll make sure it's good. And then all the way about. And then also, I don't know if I'm going to get lucky enough for the dash mount, which I'll show you back here. The dash mount right here, this thing, where my middle finger, or my finger's blocking it, that will bolt, or is supposed to bolt in the Super Duty right to here, where my finger is. So hopefully it might, I don't think it'll go down and bolt right there. I might need to cut it off and weld it somewhere else, but who knows, it might bolt up, I don't know. I hope not, that'd be too easy. But then again, that'd help me out, right? But anything else? I'm trying to think. I really didn't think this video through before I started it, which I apologize for. So, dash, anything else on the dash I should think of? Just make sure all your wiring's in a good spot and it's not gonna get pinched or cut. When you're cutting, protect your wiring. Make sure you don't cut any wires, cords to make your life harder. Leave 2 inches on your firewall when you cut it. And when you cut this, just don't cut too much off of anything, and you've already seen how I cut it. And if I fail on this, then I will obviously tell you guys and tell you to cut it a different way, so you don't go through the headache I am. So that's what it's looking like. I'm gonna lower it down and then do another part of the video, which will hopefully be out soon. But here's how everything's looking. I'll get up and give you a good picture here on my chair. Alright, let's see here. This is what it's looking like so far. Which, I mean, it looks really good. I like it. I'm happy. Couldn't be happier with it. It's going easy. I really haven't put in too hard of work. I mean, obviously this isn't easy, but I mean, it's easy to me for some reason, because I got a place to do it. But it looks really good. It's coming down really straight. I like how it's looking. Dirty at the moment, but hopefully that'll change one day. Probably not. I'll be too lazy to do it and it'll run and drive and I won't care. But hopefully it'll be nice. I'm going to make it nice, I promise. Body work might not be 100% because I'm going to use the truck still, but you can see what I got going on down here. I have it cut here, but I don't really want to show too much of this because I don't want anybody to think that's a final cut or nothing, because look at that. You can see where I have the floor cut too. I did the same thing, left 2 inches where I could. I mean, look at that, that's rusted out. I'm not gonna use that metal. And then you can see how I cut it out here. I had no flooring right here anyways. I'll go out and show you the floor and show you kind of the reason that made me do this swap anyways, but you can kind of see everything where I cut it over here. The horrendous original color yellow. But that's how I have it cut down here. It's pretty easy to do per se if you can lift the cab off. And then the big problem is right here. That's gonna be a problem I'm gonna have to figure out, but it's no problem because I've seen people move these to the inside here, which is what I'll probably end up doing. Or I'll cut a little square out and then move it right to here, drill a hole and bolt it up to here. And then just cut my mounts off down here. And then slide them forward just a little bit. Just move that hole that way and the whole bracket that way. And make sure you keep it the same height so your floor don't sag, so your truck don't look like it's pointing in the air when your bed is setting straight. I don't know what size bed's gonna work for this, but I'll figure something out. If I have to flatbed in the meantime before I can cut the frame if I need to. I don't think I do though, because I already measured it and it was pretty good. But that's what she's looking at. And I haven't even touched the AC yet. I haven't opened the AC. The AC is still gonna work as far as I know, as long as I didn't puncture nothing. And we should be rocking and rolling. Anyway, I'm gonna end that video here. And then when I get it set down, I'm gonna make another part of the video. And hopefully everybody will be entertained with that. And hopefully I'll get some more subscribers. I got a lot now. I feel like a big shot with 30 subscribers. But yeah, just share and subscribe, like. I appreciate everybody who's done it so far and keeping up with it. Hopefully some people try and do this too and think of some cooler ways or easier ways to do it. And I'd like to make some stuff too. If anybody wants anything made or a dash cut to fit, I'll cut dashes. I'll do anything anybody wants so far. I'll make you guys brackets for your wipers. Make wiper arm brackets. I'll make dash templates or floor templates, firewall templates when I get it done. Front clip templates. I'll even cut front clips for people if they want it to match mine. If someone wants to send me a cab, I'll cut the floor out of it the way. I don't care. I'll do anything, but it's looking good so far. But hopefully I can get it done soon and get it laid down soon. Get another video out to you guys. Hopefully everyone's excited as me to see it run. Which once I get it down, I'm gonna put all the wires back together and start it up anyway. So, yep, it looks good. I can't wait to see her out of the barn and on its own frame. Hopefully that'll be here in a couple weeks. I'll have all my buddies help me reassemble it, or I might just do it myself. It won't take me too long. I pretty much remembered where everything is. And I got pictures, and other people on the internet's got videos, so I'm not worried about it. And I'll also show doing this. I'll show everything I do, and if I have to cut these down and scoot it forward, I don't know what I'm gonna have to do, but that's what she's looking like. Here's another picture. You can see the floor kind of cut, and don't pay attention to this, or don't pay attention to right here. Block all that out, because that's not done yet. And I'll stand up here one more time and give you one more good look of everything. You can see over here. And then follow it over here. You can see that in the cab. It's just gonna set down nice, and I have enough to weld on the firewall on both sides. Up top, that's gonna fit good with the flooring. I'm happy the way everything's going. And I think I'm the only person that's got a video on this, so if anybody has done this and think I'm doing it stupid, please tell me. I love insight, especially if I'm doing it wrong. I don't want my truck to be a piece. But then again, it's not gonna be a show truck either. I'm gonna work with it. I don't really care if it's not professionally done 100%, it's still gonna be my truck, I don't care. I'm never gonna sell it unless someone offers me $1 million or 50,000. Anyway, that's what she's looking like. Like I said, I haven't disconnected the AC, so the AC is still 100% hooked up throughout this whole project. So I didn't need to suck the Freon out, and I've been doing this with my barn wood ratchet straps from Harbor Freight. What else? Cheap wise, everything Harbor Freight. Drill bits, Milwaukee Impact, jacks. These are a must. These right here, I moved my cab with these. They're just little dollies. That's how I moved that. And you could build those easy. My friend built some and I've been using those. Here's one of them. I've been using these. I use this to move my cab and turn my cab around. So it can be done on a budget, even though my barn isn't really a budget, which I'm kind of grateful, even though it has holes in it every feet in it, every inch, and it leaks everywhere. But I appreciate everybody watching, and like and subscribe. Thanks to everybody who has already in the comments. Keep the comments coming, I like them. Any insight? What do people think? Is this cool? Is this not cool? Would people rather see a Cummins in this thing, or I'd really like insight on that. Is it cool or not? Tell me in the comments. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Peace.